This is the toughest one to call yet in this tournament. I don't think there is a distinct, clear favorite in this match, the semifinal, second semifinal, Confederations Cup clash between Mexico and Germany. I think this match is a coin flip because you look at Mexico, you look at this inexperienced young German team who have been very impressive in this tournament, much to a lot of people's surprise and uh, defying most of the expectations that I had for them as well. I think Mexico matches up well with them. I said in my previous videos how Mexico tends to play to the level of their opponent, and I think this match is going to be somewhat similar to the Mexico versus Portugal game, which was easily Mexico's best performance in the group stages of the Confed Cup. Mexico benefits from having played two European sides already in Portugal and Russia, so there's going to be a hint of some familiarity because I always like to believe that every continent has, at least in broad strokes, a similar style of approach to a game. While each country is different, you can tell when a European team is playing, not just by name, but how they play on the field. And having come up against European opposition twice in this tournament, I think that is a beneficial factor for Mexico. For Germany, this is a young team that has gotten better with each game. I think that despite a couple of slip-ups in the Australia game where they almost dropped 2 points against the Aussies, this is a side that has been getting scarier and scarier looking with each passing match. And their match against Cameroon was easily their best performance, in my opinion. They were clinical in denying Chile a winner late in the second half in their second group game against the South American champions. But I look at this German lineup that Joachim Löw has been fielding over the last 3 games, and I just think that I now think that they can go on to win this tournament. I can't really believe I'm saying that, but I think they can win this tournament with a second string. Some would argue, I would argue, a third string side. I think for both teams, though, this is going to be their hardest match, their most sternest test in this tournament so far. And Mexico will see it as a golden opportunity to reach their first ever Confederations Cup final since 1999. And Mexico will see it as an opportunity to get this young team even more tournament experience by getting them to a major final. And, you know, Mexico's a great team, but if you ask Germany who would you rather play against in the semis, 3 choices, Portugal, Chile, or Mexico, I would think they would choose Mexico. So one of these two sides is going to the Confederations Cup final, and possibly the 2 best teams in this tournament, Portugal, Chile, one of them has to knock the other one out. So it's going to be very entertaining, and we could see shades of Confederations Cup 2005. A lot of you may not know this, but Germany and Mexico met in the 3rd place game of the 2005 Confederations Cup, and that game was lit. That game was lit. That was probably the most exciting match of the Confed Cup that year. It ended in a goal fest, 7 goals. I think Germany won that 4-3. I remember it too. Not every aspect of it, but I remember chunks of it here and there. That was an absolute great match. And I think this match, potentially, is in contention for being the best of the tournament. It's going to have some competition with Portugal, Chile coming on in a bit. And it's going to have competition with the final, which will be between the winner of Portugal, Chile, and the winner of Mexico, Germany. But I think this match is going to be intense. I think it's going to be intense. I think the flow of the play on the pitch is going to be very rapid and fast-paced. I don't think it's going to be a snooze fest. And I don't know who's going to win this. I don't know. Questions that I have is, how is Osorio going to line up for this match? I don't believe he's going to make as many changes as he did against New Zealand. It would be pretty suicidal if he did. But he also doesn't necessarily have to start all of his starters in this match, because Mexico have a lot of depth to see them through this encounter, I think. Because at first I was worried that the whole rumor of Chicharito possibly not playing, I don't know if I heard that he's somewhat injured or that he might not start. I don't think that's going to be a problem for Mexico because you look at all 6 goals that they made in this tournament, all 6 of them came from 6 different scorers. So there is an abundance of choice on the bench uh, for potential starters who could find the back of the net in this match. I believe Moreno, Nestor Araujo, Chicharito, Irving Lozano, they all scored in this tournament so far. Off the top of my head, spontaneously, I don't remember the other 2, but they've had 6 different goal scorers in this tournament, which is pretty impressive. So that lets you know they have options. And for Germany, I'm interested to see how Julian Draxler wears the captain's armband for this match. I think he is their most important, their most key player throughout. He has been so far in this tournament, and I think he will be, especially for this match. I'm actually going to give specific predictions here. I normally don't like to predict who scores, but I think Carlos Vela will get on the net here if he plays tomorrow. Maybe he doesn't even play. I don't know. But I'm going to say Carlos Vela scores, and I'm going to say Julian Draxler nets another one as well. So I think those 2 will score for their countries tomorrow. Who wins this match? It's tricky to call because Mexico, I believe this will be Mexico's one of, if not their best performance in this tournament, because we know they match up to the level of their opponent. But this German team just looks scary. I'm a little scared of this German team. And like I said just a couple minutes ago, they're getting better with each game. Scoreline. 1-1, 90 minutes. 120 minutes. 2-1. Germany.